Sometimes the most unsettling things seep into the most ordinary places, like water staining plaster. This was years ago, when I was crashing in a cheap apartment in a city I won't name. Old building, decent enough place, thin walls. You get used to hearing your neighbors, muffled TVs, arguments, footsteps overhead. But then, the other noises started. Not from the neighbors I knew. It began subtly. Late at night, usually after 2 a.m., I'd hear dragging. A heavy scraping sound from the apartment directly above mine. 4B. Like someone was pulling a sack of rocks across the floor. Thing is, 4B was empty. Had been for months. I checked with the landlord thinking maybe someone moved in without me noticing. Nope. Still vacant. Then came the smell. It wasn't constant, just wafted down sometimes, usually accompanying the dragging sound. A thick clawing sweetness, like flowers left to rot in stagnant water, mixed with something else. Something vaguely like old damp earth. It would fill my apartment for maybe 10-15 minutes, then vanish as quickly as it came. Tried air fresheners, opening windows. Nothing touched it. Weeks went by. The dragging sound got more frequent. The smell stronger. I started feeling watched, even alone in my apartment. That prickling sensation on the back of your neck. I'd be reading or watching TV and suddenly feel like someone was standing right behind me. I'd whip around, nothing. Just the empty room and that faint, sickly sweet smell lingering in the air. Sleep got difficult. Every creak of the old building sounded like that dragging. The peak? One Tuesday night, pouring rain outside, rattling the window panes. The dragging started overhead, louder than ever. Scraping, thudding, back and forth, back and forth. The smell rolled in, thick enough to taste. I was huddled on my couch, nerves frayed raw. Then, silence. Abrupt, total silence from above. Even the rain seemed to hold its breath, and a single, dark, wet patch began to bloom on my ceiling. Right above where I was sitting, it spread slowly, maybe the size of a dinner plate, perfectly round, and from the center of it, a thick, dark, almost black liquid began to drip. 1 drop, 2 drops, landing on the floorboards with a heavy splat. It wasn't water. It smelled intensely of those rotting flowers and damp soil. I didn't even grab my coat. I bolted out of that apartment, out into the rain, and didn't stop running for 3 blocks. I crashed on a friend's couch and never went back, not even for my stuff. Broke the lease, lost the deposit, didn't care. The landlord called me a few weeks later about my abandoned things. Said 4B was still empty, bone dry. No leaks, no water damage, nothing. So, what was dripping through my ceiling? And what, or who, was dragging itself across the floorboards in that empty room night after night? Makes you think twice about the bumps in the night, doesn't it? Especially when they start leaking through the ceiling.